Exodus chapter 6, verse 13. But the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron and gave them a charge about the people of Israel and about Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to bring the people of Israel out of the land of Egypt. So although in the previous verse we've seen how Moses was like, no, I'm a man of uncircumcised lips. They didn't listen to me. I'm a man of uncircumcised. Pharaoh's not going to listen to me. No way. It's a waste of time. And it's just going to end up with them even be more oppressed. So like at the burning bush, he tried to even now here at this last stage to get out of this, out of leading the people out, of doing what? And God is not going to have any of that. Yes, God understood. In this chapter, we've already seen how God so clearly explained to him why he can trust him. But that was not yet enough. So God didn't hold anything back. He told them, you go, you tell them. And so ultimately, they did go. Verse 14. These are the heads of their fathers' houses. The house of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, Hanok, Phalu, Hezron, and Carmi. These are the clans of Reuben. Now the interesting thing is just we've seen in Genesis how often later on Judah as the most important further leader, especially during the time they were already in the desert, and later on, but at the time of David, but that Moses could not have known or foreseen. Right, that Judah in a number of lists already became like the first mention. Now in this case we are back to mentioning the firstborn, which is Reuben, his sons. And clans, right? So ultimately they form clans, which is going to be important. Verse 15. The sons of Simeon, Jemuel, Jamin, Ohad, Jachin, Zoar, and Shaul, the son of a Canaanite woman. These are the clans of Simeon. So Simeon, we remember as well how he got rid of the people of Shechem, his brother, the second born, and got revenge for Dina's rape. And in this line as well, we get now this interesting moment that there Shaul was a son of a Canaanite woman, which we know later on in the history is going to be a big problem, is intermarriage with the Canaanites, which they're not supposed to do. God had no problem with them marrying women from other tribes. But as long as these people were first in part of the Israelite tribe, in other words, accepted of the religion, counting themselves, like Ruth, for example. So yeah. So yes, he had this one of them married a Canaanite woman. So it is just mentioned. And Simeon was negative per se, kind of, already a number of times, so it sort of shows that he's still not the brightest of the bunch. Verse 16. These are the names of the sons of Levi, according to their generations. Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. The years of life of Levi being 137 years. Okay, so the focus is not on Reuben, not on Simeon. The focus is here on the third born, Levi. Why? Because Moses and Aaron are Levites. Simple. With the other two, we didn't see any mention of the age of how long they lived, but here we are reminded of how long Levi lived, 137 years. The sons of Gershon, Libni and Shimei, by their clans. That's verse 17. Verse 18, the sons of Kohath, Amram, Ishar, Hebron, and Uzziel. The years of the life of Kohath being 133 years. Okay, so we go down in the line of Levi, something they did not do for Reuben and Simeon before. In the line of Levi, they're going down, not just the heads of the clans, but now down, because they want to get, again, I've mentioned before, and I'm going to repeat myself here again, and not again, because the focus is on Moses and Aaron, his brother. So Kohath lived 133 years, same kind of ages nearly as Levi. The sons of Merari, Mali and Mushi. These are the clans of Levites according to their generations. Okay, so Merari's sons are named as well, and these are all the clans of the sons of the Levites according to generations. So old people, old age is always a good sign. In this case, the people is kind of as well live to a ripe old age. Not compared to Abram, not compared to so many others, not. But in this case, they still, compared to how long the people lived those days, a ripe old age. So they were blessed. And I think this is as well a focus on the fact that his ancestors, Moses' ancestors, that is, were blessed as well by God. Now Moses here, 120 years old, so he didn't really reach the age. But remember, that is kind of the age God said people will become in the end when he after the flood, or before the flood, that is. Verse 20. Amram took as his wife Jochebed, his father's sister, and she bore him Aaron and Moses. The years of the life of Amram being 137 years. So now we are at Moses. Okay, so Moses' father Amram took his father's sister Jochebed as a wife. And she then bore Aaron and Moses. No mention of Miriam, but we know Miriam was a sister. But in this case, again, the focus is on Moses and Aaron. So they were born, and their father, lived 137 years. So in a sense, since neither Moses nor Aaron lived to this kind of age. But they did live a very long life, so it's not to say that they were not blessed or anything like that. But as well, it gives the story a little bit of a context, because people say, you're 80 years old to go and lead people out and live to 120 and do all of this is kind of. But first, I think people lived longer in those days, they were stronger in those days. And Mahathir of Malaysia became again the president, or was elected the president of Malaysia, a pretty democratic country, stable country, not a banana republic, in his 90s. So, it is, even today, it does happen. I'm not going to speak now of Biden. He was kind of a president, but I don't think he knew where that he was a president. I doubt if he even today know that he was the president of America. But President Trump is pretty old as well. Now, again, I speak now because he's a president. I have a lot of respect for him. I'm not agreeing with everything he said, but anyhow, he's old as well, or older, close to older than Moses was. Yeah, so it does happen. Verse 21. The sons of Ishar, Korah, Nepek, and Zikri. The sons of Uzziel, Mushel, Elzaphan, and Sitri. Verse 23. Aaron took as his wife Elisheba, the daughter of Aminadab, and the sister of Nashon. And she bore him Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. Right, so again we get the name of Aaron's wife and Aaron's sons, because they are actually going to, as well, we're going to read a lot about them and the kind of sins they committed ultimately, unluckily. The sons of Korah, Asher, Elkanah, and Abiasaph. These are the clans of the Korahites. Okay, Korah we're going to read a lot as well. The sons of Korah. They used to write. They wrote a number of the Psalms, and they played a big role in the worship in the temple in the days of David. Okay, but this is understandably before. But they were ultimately the line of Korah. We'll go through all of this. Verse 25. Eleazar, Aaron's son, took as his wife one of the daughters of Putil, and she bore him Phinehas. These are the heads of the fathers' houses of the Levites by their clans. Yeah, so we went deep in all detail on the line of Levi because of Moses and Aaron. So Aaron's sons mentioned, and Moses is mentioned at this time. Verse 26. These are the Aaron and Moses to whom the Lord said, bring out the people of Israel from the land of Egypt by their house. And in this verse, we see the explanation of why there's such a focus on Moses and Aaron, because these are that specific Moses and Aaron who led them out. And that is the main point, because they are the ones. So we exactly know their line, where they came from, a clear line. And unlike in Simeon's line, no Canaanites here, just Levites all over, right? And all of them very important. We can exactly clearly know, and this is the focus on this segment, focusing on the first three sons, actually only, but only mentioning the first and the second because they had to get to the third one, which is Levi, and then focus on Levi specifically. Why? Because this is Aaron and Moses who led them out.